Welcome, 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 welcome. Come on into the room. Come on into the room. We are live. Today is March 4th. And we are live to speak with the Lupus dietitian and talk about nutrition on our lupus journey. Come on in the room. Hello, Rooted Soul. Hello, I'm just Hannah, baby. Hello, Lehigh. Hello, Janine. We are waiting to see when the lupus dietitian comes on, and then we will invite her in. Hello, Chipotle. Hello, Glasgow. Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so happy to see each and every one of you, and I will let the actual lupus dietitian, when I see her pop up, I'll have her come on. So today is March 4th, and as you all saw on our post, we are marching forth in power and in inspiration and encouragement. And today we are going to talk about nutrition. And we are going to speak with the lupus dietitian when she logs on. And we're going to talk about different things to help us thrive with nutrition. As you all know, it's the Lupus Thrive with nutrition and the Thrive and Nourish Challenge. Ooh, my brain just had a brain fart. Sorry, y'all. But it's the Thrive and Nourish Challenge, and that's basically about Nutrition Month and really diving into how we can practically deal with our nutrition. So I am waiting let me see if I can find her online. Give me 1 minute. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I so appreciate you. I'm so happy to see you here. I'm going to invite the lupus talking with her. But as I stated, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to wave to everybody and say hello. I appreciate you all tuning in on this afternoon. Hopefully you are having a great day and you are not dealing with a whole bunch of different issues with lupus. Today we're going to be talking about nutrition, as I stated earlier. And as you all know, we're in the Thrive and Nourish Challenge. And yep, it's another challenge. Of course it is. Because anything we do for a long period of time becomes a habit. And we want to try and change our mindset. And we'll talk a little bit about that with the lupus nutrition when she's on. Hi there, Tanya. There she is.
Hello, how are you today?
I am so good. It's so good to see you. Haven't seen and talked with you in so long, right?
It has been so long, time flies.
I know. It's all right, though. It's all right because it's always right on time. Always right on time.
Exactly.
So thank you for agreeing to join us today. Why don't you give us a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
And for those of us that don't know, I think everybody should know you by now.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I think
But
everybody should know you by now.
I hope so. I hope somebody. It's good to be seen, right? It's good to be seen. Absolutely. So, give us a little background on you, so that people can understand that we are really talking to someone that knows what's going on.
Thank you. So, for everyone out there that has not followed me or seen anything that I've done, I am known as the lupus dietitian. I am a registered dietitian, so that means that I completed my master's and did a year-long dietetic internship under basically registered dietitians that could ensure that I was learning the proper nutrition information, how to help people in my work life. I've helped a lot of different people. I focused on diabetes for a little while, but now 5 years ago, I realized, people with autoimmune disease are not getting the nutrition support that they need. So I pivoted my private practice to completely focus on people with lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, other autoimmune diseases. It is personally relevant to me. I have lupus myself. I've been diagnosed for 11 years. And in that time, I have seen in my own life, and then, of course, all of the people that I've helped, how much diet and lifestyle makes a huge impact on how they feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true because I think that we fail to see how important our relationship with food is, right? So, where it's National Nutrition Month. It's also Autoimmune Disease Month. It's so many different months, right? But in regards to Nutritional Month, we are doing the Thrive and Nourish Challenge, and we're trying to
Right.
teach lupus warriors and anybody who will listen to us about how we can change our mindset and how we can change our relationship with food. So I have a couple of questions for you
Right.
that I wrote down because sometimes I can go off the tangent. So I wanted to make sure that I ask these questions. But since we're doing a Thrive and Nourish, what do you feel that means for people with lupus?
Yes. So I would say that it starts with thinking about your relationship with food and your body. So, when you're diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, it can really throw you sideways and feel like, well, I'm over here, my body's over there just doing whatever it wants. There's no
Mhm.
predictability, flares come out of nowhere. And so, one, I always start with people on let's create a really healthy relationship with our body because whether we like it or not, you're a team. You can't replace your whole body, at least in terms of the science that we have now. So we have to deal with the cards that we've been dealt. And if it is a much more positive relationship with your body, it will get you a lot further. And then think about the relationship with food. We use food for all sorts of things: comfort, entertainment, socialization, nostalgia. So when we're thinking about food, it can still be all of those things, but maybe for a little while we can prioritize how can I use food to reduce my inflammation, to get more energy, to reduce my pain. And it can be used that way.
Yeah, I love that you said, how can we use food to reduce that inflammation and reduce that pain? Do you think that a lot of people are missing the mark with that? Like I a lot of people don't even hold a food journal. Like they don't know how food interacts with them. Is that part of the relationship that you have with food?
Definitely, it can be. So, some people start working with me and they're really in tune with their body. They say, hey, I've noticed whenever
Mhm.
I eat these sorts of things, it really bothers me. But a lot of people have not made that connection, have been, busy with life, work,
Mhm.
family, whatever it may be, and just haven't either noticed a big impact because
Mhm.
maybe they feel really kind of terrible all the time and
Mhm.
haven't been able to differentiate. Oh, was it that meal or the meal before that really upset my stomach? So I think that connection can be made, and it just depends on where you have put your focus on lately. If you've been able
Mhm.
to figure it out, or maybe need some support.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. I love how you said where you put your focus. Because if we're always focusing on something that's not helping us, we can't really get to the point where we're going to help ourselves, right?
That's true too. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So, so many people say, and we're probably going to jump around because you know how we are. You know how we get together, we start talking about everything under the sun.
Yeah, but
But,
that's fun.
a lot of people talk about a lupus diet.
Mhm.
And we know that, there's probably no real lupus diet. What is the evidence to show how you can really help your inflammation with food? What's the true evidence that you know as a dietitian?
There's so much actually. So I will say, like a little disclaimer for everyone, that the community living with lupus is incredibly diverse. We all have different symptoms, different labs, different struggles, different challenges, different medications work for different people. So,
Mhm.
all that being said, there's also different dietary solutions.
Right.
There
Mhm.
is a good amount of research, for example, like turmeric. And I always tell people when I'm talking about these things, please take it in your mind as something to discuss with your doctor before you start implementing. Food first. So rather than going out and buying supplements that we're not really sure what the companies put in them or the dosing or if it could interact with your medications, think about how can I include this in my food after you talk to your doctor. But So, for example, something like turmeric has been found to lower the amount of protein lost in urine and
Mm,
to lower some of those cytokines that are causing the inflammation, like IL-17, for example. So, I
mhm.
know that I'm getting really, really specific, but that's what the research looks at. They can't really say, well, if you change your diet this way, are you feeling better? It's not.
Right,
So they
right.
focus on those tiny, tiny little things, but there's so much research that shows like, wow, foods can really make a big impact.
Yeah. And I love how you put that, the whole turmeric in there and the whole disclaimer of, make sure you're checking with your doctor first. Make sure that you're not just going to supplements, that you're trying to find those whole foods that can give you the same thing, if not better, than what a
Mhm.
supplement can give.
Totally. Yeah. And unfortunately, I really always stress that because in the United States, our supplement industry is not very well regulated. So if a company wants to be third party tested and give their products to another party to say, look, see, we're putting what we say we're putting in here, they can choose to do that, but they don't have to. And
Yeah.
so that unfortunately opens us up to maybe ingesting things that we really shouldn't be.
Right. Or ingesting things that's not doing anything.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It
You
could
know?
just not be effective.
Yeah.
Um, for example, there was a study and they compared 20 supplements of, I don't remember what the actual supplement was, but they found, you're right, that a lot of them had just filler ingredients.
Mhm.
The dosing was too high in some and too low in others. And sometimes they did have another ingredient that wasn't listed on the label. And that's what I meant with could be interacting with your medications or causing
Sure.
another reaction that we didn't even expect or know to
Sure.
look for.
Absolutely. How do you suggest that people begin to incorporate these different supplements that are natural, that are in our food, in their diet day to day?
Yeah. So I always say, let's start simple.
Mhm.
We don't have to throw away all of your dietary habits. That's not going to happen.
Right, right.
Yeah, but what's one thing that you can change? So for example, if I had someone in front of me and they're like, "Well, I just feel terrible," um, and low energy all day, I'd say, okay, well, what are you starting the day with? Are you having breakfast at all?
Mhm.
And if you're not having breakfast, okay, what sort of simple things can we do ahead of time? Breakfast is sometimes a big rush. Most of us certainly are rushing out the door. Um, and so, what sort of things can we prep ahead of time, or that are so simple and so fast that you feel like, okay, well, I can get started with that. So
Mhm.
that's like something so small, and we're focusing on just one part of the day, and it's a really actionable change. So that's where I would tell people to start with. Okay, let's look over the course of the day, and maybe you really like sodas. Okay, can we cut down on those? Can we drink more water? Just really small, simple things feel a lot more manageable than saying, all right, I got to change my whole diet.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. That simplicity is important, especially when you're exhausted, when you don't really know where to start. You're not really sure how food is interacting with your body and things of that nature. So small steps add up to bigger things, right?
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Speaking about exhaustion, fatigue is real.
Yes.
So when someone is completely exhausted, we all get there, whether our lupus is in acquiescence or if it's actually really active. We all get that exhaustion sometimes. How do you direct people to begin to prepare for those flares and those, exhaustion times
Mhm.
to, have the right foods in place?
Yeah, yeah. So I always tell people, okay, the more that we can do now when we're feeling energetic and we can take advantage of, that helps you when you really need to treat yourself like with as if you're in a bubble. Like it's bubble wrap time where we just want to be really kind and have a lot of rest and very anti-inflammatory foods. So certainly when people are feeling good, what they can do is make sure that they're stocking their kitchen with really simple things.
Mhm.
Maybe if you've made a big old pot of soup, go ahead and freeze single servings so that you have those of, oh, I don't even have the energy to do anything, but I can take frozen soup out of the freezer and put it in the microwave or heat it up in a pot. And I've got a nutritious meal that took me 1 minute to make instead of um, 30
An
minutes.
hour, right? Yeah.
Yeah, an hour exactly. And then little things that people can have on hand may even be things that are a little bit of a shortcut. So, you know, oats are super simple. They're
Mhm.
plain, they're kind of boring, but they don't have to be. You
Right.
can put
Right.
them in a bowl, soak them overnight in the fridge, and then
Mhm.
that way you're not having to stand there and cook oatmeal. You can just microwave it. It's soaked in, so it will cook a lot faster.
Right.
So that's basic. You can certainly find that in any grocery store. And then you
Mhm.
can put in a lot of ingredients that make it healthier. Like you could put in ground flaxseed and chia seeds, maybe whatever fresh fruit you have around, or frozen fruit if you haven't had the chance to go to the grocery store. So there's a lot of things that we can do with really basic ingredients that aren't complicated,
Right.
that can save you time. And the more you fuel your body with these anti-inflammatory things, the more energy and time you have to do all the things that you want to do, fun things.
Absolutely. Yes. I hear you saying simple.
Hmm.
Preparation is a big part of it. When you're feeling well, make sure you're preparing. Not
Hmm.
all, you don't have to be overly extended with it, but you want to make sure that you're preparing yourself in simple ways that are giving you these actionable steps to start a habit.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also thinking about preparing. We think about our time. So if you've just not been in the habit for a long time of preparing yourself food, we do have to take time from other activities. We have to make that time. It does not have to be like, oh, now we're learning how to be like a culinary expert. It can be really, really simple things.
Right.
But saying, all right, well, I do have to take a lunch break. I have to sit and eat my lunch. I can't just grab it through a drive-through and eat while I'm driving. First of all, that's not good for anybody, let alone someone with an autoimmune disease. But taking the time to fuel yourself and think, all right, well, you know what? It will take me 10 minutes to just pack a quick little lunch the night before, bring it with me. But I'll have a much more relaxing lunch. I can sit wherever, maybe your place of work or um, and have the lunch versus having to rush out, get through the drive-through, shovel it in before your break's over.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That preparation makes a difference. It makes a
Yeah.
difference not only in what you're eating, but even in your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
How does changing your eating habits really create a mindset of wellness within you? How can that work together?
Yeah, I think it's also thinking about that relationship with food. So, if previously you were getting a lot of comfort or, processed foods give us dopamine. They're perfectly salty, they're perfectly crunchy. So, if you're getting that from your food, then it is a bit of a change to think instead, like, how hard is this meal working for me? I
Mm,
want it to really fuel me and give me the energy, um, the fiber, the protein. Like I'm
right.
getting, like, is it doing a good job for me, basically?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
How is it
Um,
working? I absolutely love that statement. How hard is the food working for me?
mhm.
And how is it interacting with my body? Why am I eating?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Am I eating because I'm hungry, or am I eating because I'm upset? I think that kind of changes the relationship that you have with food as well, right?
Absolutely. And there is nothing wrong with having those other layers of relationships with food. However, that may not support your healing as well.
Mm,
So, thinking about, okay, well, when I'm stressed, I usually go get a snack. Let me think of other ways to handle this stress. Maybe I'll go outside and get a little bit of fresh air. Maybe I'll do 5 minutes of stretching. And thinking about what had served you with food, is it really serving me as well as it could?
Mm,
Yeah. So
love
it
that.
it's a lot of reflection for sure of
Mm, yeah,
what is this meal doing for me?
right. That's if you don't get anything from anything else we talk about today, that one statement is so important. It definitely is so important. So I know you talked about, not eliminating everything out. No, not just taking everything out your refrigerator and just throwing it in the garbage. It's kind of, just extreme. So how do they do it safely? Besides just like, are they adding just like one thing to their meal, or are they not having meatless Mondays? How do you suggest that people start to do that?
You know where I think people find the easiest like entry point is when you're looking at your plate at lunch and dinner, trying
Mm-hmm.
to fill 50% of it with vegetables is a fantastic start. So it doesn't matter what vegetables. So if you like cucumbers, if you like salad, if you like cooked vegetables, steamed, sauteed, baked, broiled, it does not matter.
Right, right. Just
Any
get some vegetables.
just get some vegetables. Yeah.
Right.
And filling half that plate with veggies is giving you such a boost in terms
Mm-hmm.
of micronutrients, vitamins, minerals that you may not be getting otherwise. It's giving you fiber. It's helping you feel full and satisfied from your meal. And
Okay.
that's giving you like that positive. It's adding so much that's so helpful for your body versus something that maybe just isn't really working hard for you.
Yeah. How much is eating out of habit? How much is that just habitual? Like grabbing those quick meals. Is it more habitual, or is it a cross between habitual and maybe not having anywhere to get that food that you need, those little food deserts and things of that nature? How does that play a role?
Yeah, well, I think that there's two things in play. One, a lot of companies profit off of you if you get the convenient things, if you're picking up
Sure.
snacks. Those are very, very cheap products that
Mm-hmm.
even though a drive-through is cheaper than a sit-down restaurant, the markup on them is crazy. So those companies are really profiting off you. So they put advertisements everywhere. They make it very easy. They make it as like perfect as a snack food as possible. So I think that just understanding the landscape of a lot of people are profiting off of me spending my money this way, but my
Mm-hmm.
health isn't.
Mm,
Usually the first step that helps people be like, I'm going to be a little bit more questionable about that.
right.
Um, and then the other part of thinking about our landscape, there are a lot of places where it is a food desert. So a food desert would be if you don't have access to a particularly good or affordable grocery store, or there's just not one that sometimes people in different environments too, rural and urban,
Right.
have in an urban setting, maybe a bodega. In a rural setting, it's 20 minutes to the grocery store. So both of those are extremely challenging. And unfortunately, that the solution is usually a little bit more planning,
Sure.
um, because you do have to be cognizant of, okay, well, what is around me is a Dollar General or a convenience store, and neither one of those are meeting my needs. But it's hard. It's certainly really difficult.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. It's definitely something that needs to be looked at as a whole, you
Mhm.
know. And as long as we're preparing, you said it again, that whole preparation and doing it simply makes a big difference.
And it
What?
doesn't always have to feel complicated or hard
Mhm.
forever. It's
Right.
really just at the beginning when we're making changes. Okay, yeah, we need to have a bit of a plan. We need to think through different challenges. But once you have that plan in place, then you just get to rinse and repeat and keep doing that. And it becomes way easier, much more time efficient, honestly, and more efficient with your energy to be
Sure.
able to do things in bulk, to prep things. I've never been the type of person that can like do a Sunday where I prep my meals for the whole week. I'm
Hmm.
not like that, but I do love leftovers. So whenever
Oh,
I'm
wow.
prepping, I will make enough so that I
Hmm.
have leftovers for a couple more meals.
I think
And
you're the only person I know that loves leftovers.
oh, I love them. Oh my goodness. They bring me so much joy because it's easier for my brain. My brain
Right.
doesn't have to be creative. Oh, great. I have food that I know I like and it's
Yeah.
here and it takes me 1.5 minutes to get it hot again. Fantastic.
Makes
My
sense.
the challenge of figuring out my next meal is not a challenge anymore.
Yeah. And I mean, and it is a challenge. I mean, one of the worst things as an adult is trying to figure out what you're going to have for dinner.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's another thing that like we can make a lot simpler. So sometimes people will make a list of all of their favorite recipes, and then at least you're looking at the list. All right, well, we haven't had taco night in a while. Let's do that. Um, so that can be one thing. Sometimes people will just pick a day of the week that they have. Well, Monday's always this. That's fine too. Whatever works for you and your family.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Absolutely. And we don't when we're eating and when we're some people, like you said, are in those food deserts. Can we talk a little bit about food guilt and
Mhm.
how we might feel a little guilty because we have to eat the ramen noodles because that's all we can handle, number
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
or that's all that we have. Can we talk
Mhm.
about how that, how we need to change that mindset of guilt in food?
Absolutely. So I think everyone out there listening that has an autoimmune disease, first of all, give yourself a lot of credit because you have
Mhm.
essentially gotten a whole list of responsibilities that you never signed up for. You manage your medications, you manage doctor's appointments, you manage having low energy sometimes, the unpredictability of it. So there's all of this, and I don't always want to call it a burden, but a set of like a part-time job
That
that
part.
you're not getting paid for, and you didn't expect to have. So give yourself, honestly, kindness of, you know what? I am trying my best.
Yeah.
And today, is this dinner the healthiest for me? Meh. I'm feeding myself. That's better than nothing. It's
Right.
it's it's better than some of the other options out there. So I'm doing my best right now. And just giving yourself less criticism is certainly also that if we're always kind of attacking ourselves in terms of like, oh, you did the wrong thing, that's not good, you're not good, then also that is causing more inflammation.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. Because you're stressing yourself out and that stress will
absolutely.
make you sick as ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love how you said just give yourself some kindness and just be nice to you.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Also,
know?
if you're kind of in the mode of, okay, is this the way I should be speaking to myself? Think about, would I tell my best friend this? Would I say those words to my best friend? Because we are often much, much harsher for ourselves than anyone that we love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes we talk to ourselves worse than we talk to people that are in our lives that might
Yeah,
not even understand what we're going through.
totally.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. I was trying to see if we had any questions here because I
Oh,
know.
yeah. I see a lot of things coming through.
Hmm. Good afternoon, ladies from Philly. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We so appreciate you. We are talking with the lupus dietitian. Let's see who. Uh, Conquest motivational speaker said we have to find a way to make our food work harder for us. Absolutely. Oh, you have another friend out there that says she loves leftovers also.
Hey.
So that's important. I mean, it's so nutrition is so important. If
Yes.
you could give 3 words of advice to someone to encourage them to be a little bit better with their nutrition, what 3 words of advice would that be?
Mm.
And if you have more, that's fine too.
Well, here, actually, and this fits perfectly. It is three. Progress, not perfection.
Love it.
Yes, because a lot of times with that guilt, with that harsh way that we talk to ourselves, with making dietary changes, People think, well, I got to do all or nothing. If I mess up even one tiny bit, that's it. I've ruined everything. And that is absolutely not true. So
Right.
every bite that you are eating is either, not that helpful, or, ooh, that's giving me a lot of positive benefits. So you get to make that choice, and that's literally every single bite. So if one bite, one meal wasn't that great, guess
Hmm.
what? You get another chance in 3 hours, in 5 hours. It's okay. And like in the grand scheme of things, just like as anyone working towards a goal, if you had all of your diet from before,
Hmm.
and let's say 75% of it was things that you were like, I could probably do better. And
Hmm.
then 2 months later, you're like, well, 50% of the time I could do better. That's a huge impact. Like,
Yeah.
it does not need to be perfect. And I think a lot of people really throw in the towel because they get so frustrated that it's not perfect. No one is perfect. I am not perfect.
Yep.
Everyone, just do the best you can. If you're the majority of the time doing better than you did before, fantastic.
Right. Right. Okay, so that's one, progress, not perfection.
Hmm.
What about one more? Give me one more.
One more. I think for everyone out there that just has autoimmune diseases, please, please, please maintain hope that
Hmm.
there is a lot of reasons to be very hopeful that this diagnosis does not need to be the end of the sentence of, well, I have lupus, I can't
Mm.
X, Y, and Z. It is just you can live with lupus. At the beginning, especially if you've struggled for a diagnosis or you feel like one treatment isn't working for you, it can feel like, well, this is it. This is all encompassing. I don't have any other choices. But absolutely, please do not feel constricted by that. That there is so many reasons to be hopeful. That there's so much that you can do in your life that helps you feel better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Tell everybody where they can reach you, and I'm going to put it in the chat while you're talking. So I am listening to you.
So y'all can find me anywhere. Obviously, I'll be tagged in this Instagram live, but on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the places, social media, you can find me as the Lupus Dietitian. And also, I have a website, the Lupus Dietitian. So if anyone out there has any questions or needs help, I have group programs, I have one-on-one services. So I help people in a variety of ways to meet them where they're ready to get started. And I have not had any clients that I have worked with that have stuck with it. You can't quit. um, that haven't seen improvement. And usually the energy and the reduced pain are those two first things that are wonderful to see improve for people.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. Now, you guys, you hear that, right? Go on and find the lupus dietitian on all social media and absolutely go to her website. She can help you, you know, fine tune, I'll put it that way, your relationship with food so that it can work better for you. What else would you like to leave us with? Since I want to be respectful of your time, we've been on for about a half an hour. Wow, that went by kind of quick.
So fast, so fast. It always goes by so
Oh,
quickly.
that goes by so quick. What else would you like to leave us with before we decide to log off and go on about our days?
That you are all a lot stronger than you
Mm,
give yourself credit for. Again,
mm,
that kind of self criticism, sometimes we tear ourselves down, but you've already got this extra part time job that you didn't sign up for, and you're handling that and you're juggling the other things in your life. So, always, always, always remember that you can handle a lot and you are so, so strong, but please also don't feel like you always have to handle it yourself.
mm.
That ask for help, get support from your loved ones because you are worthy of it. You deserve it. It is hard, but you can do it.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much, Tanya. I so appreciate you.
Thank you so much. It's such a delight to see you. I can't wait to
I
chat with you again sometime soon.
I know we definitely will. We definitely will. Thank you so much for your expertise and for your help and for all of the great information that you gave us.
Thank you. And everyone out there, Lupus in Color is doing your Thrive with Lupus this month.
Mhm.
So please continue to follow and see all the amazing content that you put out.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I so appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. And that was our Thrive and Nourish program for the beginning of Nutritional Month.
Yay.
So make sure you follow the Lupus Dietitian, and we will talk to you soon.
Yes, definitely.
All
Take
right,
care.
talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.